Have you ever wondered why your blood sugar can be high even when you haven't eaten much? The answer might be something you do every night: sleep, or more importantly, the lack of it. Most people think blood sugar is controlled mainly by what they eat. And yes, food matters. But your sleep can also have a powerful effect on how your body handles glucose. Poor sleep doesn't just make you feel tired the next morning. It can change your hormones, increase insulin resistance, affect your appetite, and make it harder for your body to keep blood sugar within a healthy range. So, let's take a closer look at what happens to your blood sugar when you don't get enough quality sleep. 1. Poor sleep can make your body more resistant to insulin. Insulin is the hormone that helps move glucose from your bloodstream into your cells, where it can be used for energy. Think of insulin as a key. Your cells have locks, and insulin helps unlock those cells so glucose can enter. But when you consistently get to little sleep, your cells may become less responsive to insulin. In other words, the key doesn't work as efficiently. This is called insulin resistance. When that happens, glucose stays in your bloodstream for longer, causing blood sugar levels to rise. And if poor sleep continues night after night, insulin resistance can become more significant. 2. Your stress hormones can rise. Here's another important connection. When you're sleep deprived, your body can interpret the situation as a form of stress. This can increase hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline. Cortisol has an important job. It helps your body respond to stress and provides energy when you need it. But chronically elevated cortisol can encourage your liver to release more glucose into the bloodstream. That's useful when you're running from danger. But if you're lying awake at 2 a.m. worrying about tomorrow, you don't need a sudden flood of glucose. Yet your body may respond as though it needs extra energy. The result: higher blood sugar. 3. Lack of sleep can increase your hunger. This is where sleep starts affecting your blood sugar indirectly. When you don't sleep enough, the hormones that regulate hunger and fullness can become disrupted. You may feel hungrier during the day and less satisfied after eating. And what do many people reach for when they're exhausted? Quick sources of energy: sugary drinks, sweets, pastries, refined carbohydrates, large portions. These foods can cause blood glucose to rise rapidly, especially when eaten frequently. So poor sleep can create a cycle: less sleep, more hunger, more high-calorie foods, higher blood sugar. 4. Sleep deprivation can increase cravings. There's another problem. When you're exhausted, your brain is looking for an easy source of energy. That's why you might crave something sweet after a terrible night's sleep. You may normally ignore the biscuits sitting on the table, but after only a few hours of sleep, suddenly they look irresistible. This isn't simply a lack of willpower. Sleep deprivation can influence the brain's reward and appetite systems, making high-calorie foods more appealing. And repeated late-night or daytime snacking can contribute to higher glucose levels and weight gain. 5. Poor sleep can affect your morning blood sugar. Have you ever checked your blood sugar in the morning and wondered, why is it high? I haven't even eaten breakfast yet. One reason may be the body's natural morning hormone response. As you approach waking, hormones such as cortisol and growth hormone increase. These hormones help prepare your body to wake up and become active. They can also signal the liver to release glucose into the bloodstream. This is sometimes called the dawn phenomenon. If you're also dealing with insulin resistance or diabetes, your body may have difficulty controlling that extra glucose. And poor sleep can make glucose regulation even harder. So yes, your blood sugar can be elevated in the morning before you've eaten anything. 6. Your sleep schedule matters too. It's not only about how many hours you sleep. When you sleep matters as well. Your body operates according to an internal biological clock called the circadian rhythm. This clock helps regulate sleep, hormones, metabolism, body temperature, and many other functions. When you constantly change your sleep schedule, for example, sleeping during the day and staying awake at night, you can disrupt these metabolic processes. This is particularly important for people who work night shifts. Irregular sleep patterns can make it harder for the body to regulate glucose effectively. 7. Short sleep can affect your metabolism. Your body performs important metabolic processes while you're sleeping. When you consistently cut your sleep short, you're interfering with the time your body has to recover and regulate itself. Think about your phone. If you constantly use it without allowing it enough time to recharge, eventually performance suffers. Your body isn't a phone, of course, but the analogy helps. Sleep is one of the periods when your body gets a chance to restore balance. When you repeatedly sacrifice that time, metabolic health can suffer. 8. Poor sleep and belly fat can create a vicious cycle. Here's where things get even more interesting. Poor sleep can contribute to changes in appetite, insulin sensitivity, and physical activity. Over time, these changes can make weight gain more likely, and excess abdominal fat is strongly associated with insulin resistance. So you can end up with a vicious cycle. Poor sleep, increased appetite, weight gain, more insulin resistance, higher blood sugar, metabolic problems. And the cycle can continue if nothing changes. 9. Sleep apnea can be especially important. There's another sleep problem that deserves attention: obstructive sleep apnea. People with sleep apnea repeatedly stop or reduce breathing during sleep. These episodes can cause brief drops in oxygen and repeated awakenings, sometimes without the person even realizing they're waking up. Sleep apnea is associated with insulin resistance and poorer glucose control. Some warning signs include loud snoring, gasping or choking during sleep, morning headaches, excessive daytime sleepiness, and waking up feeling exhausted despite spending many hours in bed. If these symptoms sound familiar, it's worth discussing them with a healthcare professional. 10. But here's the good news. The relationship between sleep and blood sugar isn't only bad news. Improving your sleep can be one part of a healthier lifestyle. You don't need a perfect night every night. Start with the basics. Aim for a consistent sleep schedule. Give yourself enough time to sleep. Most adults need around 7 to 9 hours per night. Keep your bedroom dark, quiet, and comfortable. Avoid excessive caffeine late in the day. Limit heavy meals and alcohol close to bedtime. Reduce stimulating screen use before bed if it interferes with your ability to fall asleep. And don't underestimate physical activity. Regular exercise can improve both sleep quality and insulin sensitivity. One important warning: if you have diabetes or regularly experience high blood sugar, don't assume that poor sleep is the only cause. Blood sugar can be affected by many things, including food, medications, physical activity, illness, stress, hormones, and underlying health conditions. And if you're taking diabetes medication or insulin, don't change your dose simply because you think your sleep is affecting your blood sugar. Talk to your healthcare professional. The bottom line: your blood sugar isn't controlled by food alone. Sleep is part of the equation. When you consistently sleep too little or have poor quality sleep, your body may become less sensitive to insulin, stress hormones may increase, appetite can change, cravings can become stronger, and glucose regulation can become more difficult. So the next time you think about improving your blood sugar, don't only ask, "What am I eating?" Also ask, "How am I sleeping?" Because sometimes, one of the most important things you can do for your metabolic health happens when you close your eyes and go to sleep. Take care of your sleep, and you're giving your body another opportunity to take care of your blood sugar.